We're here with Coach Michaelson of the NNU men's soccer team, coming off a 0-0 draw with Montana State Billings. Give us your assessment of the match.
Yeah, Billings is always a difficult place to play. They've been a good team for the past few years, and I thought Alex had them really well organized. We found them pretty difficult to break down, but we also felt we created 4 or 5 really good chances to score during regulation. So I think if the game would have ended at the end of regulation, we would have been disappointed with the draw. But I think headed into overtime, they definitely got the better of it throughout the overtime periods. And in the end, we were happy to walk away with the draw. And it's a good point. A road point in our conference, no matter who you're facing, is a good point. And I think that was the case at Billings.
So coming into the midpoint of conference, what's your assessment on the first half of conference play?
Yeah, we've got some older players, but we have a lot of new pieces. And I think we found just the process of adapting and implementing a lot of new guys to be a challenging process. And when you mix in there a lot of injuries throughout the early phase, it was a challenging process trying to put the puzzle together with a lot of new pieces, a lot of injuries, while playing good teams. And I think our results suffered as a result early on from what we feel we're capable of. But over the past 5 games, we've done well, and we've picked up points, and it's a really tight conference race kind of in the middle there. So the difference between 2nd place and 5th place isn't real significant right now. So we're happy with where we're at to an extent, but we certainly have expectations to build on that going into the second half of conference.
So defensively, the team seems to have picked up some momentum lately, only giving up 2 goals in the past 5 matches. Can you talk a little bit about why that might be happening?
Yeah, you work throughout preseason at things, and one of the big pieces we worked on, because you kind of want to build from the back forward, was what we were doing defensively. And 3 minutes into our first game, we lose Daniel Day, starting center back, and all the preparations were negated at that point. We had to make changes and we had to make adjustments, and then 3 games in, we lose our senior captain and defensive midfielder, Derek Brown. So there's been, in that early stage, there was a lot of chaos in terms of trying to figure out how to fit those pieces together. And so it just took a bit of time. But as we worked at it and drilled and slowly got some bodies back on the field, 2 of those matches went overtime. So to give up 2 goals in the last 5.5 matches in terms of the number of minutes that we've played, we've done quite well. So I think we've got 3 shutouts in a row, and as long as you're not giving up goals, you have a chance to win.
So looking forward, as we're about midway through, what are some of the objectives for your last 7 games as well as the second half of conference?
Our message for our team is there's not a game we play that we can't win. But there's also not a game we play that we couldn't lose. So I think it's just about taking it one game at a time. And I think if we do that, it's a cliche, but it's true. And if we take care of it one game at a time, I think when the season's said and done, we'll be where we want to be or close to that, either at or near the top of our conference in those top 2 or 3 teams. And I think that for us, that would be the objective, is to make sure we get into the top couple places in our conference.
And lastly, are there any upcoming thoughts about these 2 teams you're going to play this week in Seattle Pacific and St. Martin's?
Yeah, that's the road trip where we kind of got this 5-game streak rolling. Drew 0-0 with SPU in a game where we felt we missed some great opportunities late to win it. And then with a hard-fought win at St. Martin's. And they're both good teams. We've got a stretch now of 4 games against the 4 other teams who are at the top of the conference along with us right now. So it'll be important games for us to try and take points from, because these are the teams we're competing with for places right now. So they'll be tough games, but winnable games, and hopefully just taking them one game at a time, we'll get the results that we're looking for.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach.